Tonight on JoyNews Prime, shop owners at Circle Odawna count their losses as 50 shops are torched following a fire outbreak which took the fire service more than 3 hours to tame. We have details. NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama calls for unity among the party as they work to regain power in the year 2024. More from his Thanksgiving service earlier today. And later tonight, we'll take you to Kumewu, where President Akufo-Addo has been defending his government's decision to seek an IMF bailout, despite initially assuring Ghanaians that the IMF was a no-go area. We're live in the area where the New Patriotic Party is set to hold its final rally ahead of the by-election on Tuesday. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. We're back with details. And let's start with the president. Akufo-Addo says conditions that prevailed in the country forced his government to run to the IMF for a bailout. Also, he's been talking at the Kumewu by-election, speaking for the first time since the approval of the bailout. Nana Addo debunked claims his government sought the support as a result of mismanagement of the economy. According to him, Ghana is not the only African country to seek bailout from the IMF. He noted that 29 other African states, the latest being Tunisia and Ivory Coast, have programs with the IMF.
Let me be mine. 29 countries in Africa are called IMF, CFP. And now Tunisia and the Ivory Coast cross about the count. It's one in the number here. Nana Addo, it's less MP before I'm born model. That's how they tell Africa. I said, Naba, so papa, hey, boy, my I call IMF. See, I call basically. Now you are saying that year. I said, be my. There was a call IMF. Dumso 4 years. You buy more who dumso. You buy more who dumso. And it'll be about the case on the whole about it to me. First, you know, so buy. Free senior high, no barbecue. And also, with also on Casabio. But what was a Ghana for, and then the Yadre Ghana for any Jedi or Cano.
And now to the NDC flag bearer, John Mahama says the base of the NDC is energized and poised to win the 2024 general election. According to him, his recent campaign tour of all the 275 constituencies ahead of the party's presidential and parliamentary primaries pushed the members to double their efforts for victory in the next election. At a Thanksgiving service at the Ringway Gospel Center Assemblies of God Church, the former president called for hard work and unity among the party heads.
In 2020, we went again for the election, and again, we lost. And again, we came here after the Supreme Court case, and we gave thanks to God for His mercy and in protecting us. And as I said, His ways, our ways are not His ways. But on hindsight, when I think about it, I believe that we owe Him a debt of gratitude that we didn't win in 2020. We would have been given these haircuts and all this IMF wahala. And he said, look, this is not the time, my children. You stand aside. And we know that He will make things well in His own time. So this is just the first step. We held primaries. Many people had said we don't need to waste resources so that we can apply those resources to the main election, and so I should be allowed to go unopposed and all that. And that's why when I gave my acceptance speech, I thanked my opponent, I thanked Dr. Dufo, and I thanked Mayor Kojo Bomsu for participating in the primaries, even though Dr. Dufo withdrew at the last minute when he saw that, it was going to be a tsunami. So, but if he hadn't filed and was unopposed, it would not have compelled us to do the rounds that we did. And when we did those rounds and I saw our delegates and the excitement and the passion with which they came to the events that we went to, I think that exercise in going round really helped the party, because it has shaken the base of the party and prepared the party and made it ready for what we're going to confront in 2024. And so we thank God again for that our colleagues participated in the primaries.
Now, acting Ashanti Presbytery Synod Moderator Reverend Samuel Senanu Asiani says indiscipline among leaders and Ghanaians is the cause of the prolonged struggle against illegal mining. Illegal mining continues to devour arable lands in Ghana despite intense efforts to combat it. Reverend Asiani says the fight against the menace must begin with people in authority. There's more in the following report.
Illegal mining has greatly degraded sensitive lands, contaminated water bodies, and exposed many communities to serious environmental and health risk. The menace has resulted in loss of lives and vast vegetative cover. The call to end the menace has intensified following a report by Professor Frimpong Boateng, former chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. Several government and public officials were named in the report as being involved in galamsey activities in the country. Reverend Samuel Senanu Asiani admonished leaders to lead the fight against illegal mining. He was addressing a Presbytery Congress in Kumasi at the 13th Synod of the Ashanti Presbytery of Evangelical Presbyterian Church.
We are sick as Ghanaians and we need healing. Why are we sick? The indiscipline is too much for us. The galamsey issue. Today, our water bodies nowhere to be found. That is will affect our health, water to drink. But not until we change. The indiscipline is too much. Let us be disciplined. The galamsey should stop. And the leaders should show example.
This year's Synod occasion was themed, Revive Us Again, O Lord, Heal and Restore Us. Speaking on a theme, Pastor Douglas Asamani admonished Christians to live Christ-like lives that would reflect in their societies.
As Christians, peace is very paramount. Love and oneness is what is important in our Christian life. As I was saying this morning, we know that the fabric of society is broken down and the environment as well is also having a problem. As Christians, we must protect the environment against forest destruction and galamsey. We must build our nation on good principles of God, because He prepared the place for us to have a good life. There is always this LTVT or plus. We must stand up and against it. But before we talk against it, we must be clean in our hearts that we can take action against one or some of these issues. There is very important thing for the Christian is to bring a change into society.
The Ashanti Presbytery 13th Synod assembled Presbytery delegates across the region. The occasion was used to appreciate the work of some members of the church. Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
Now, government's quest to digitize and transition the educational sector onto an electronic learning platform is fast gaining momentum as stakeholders commence a regional consultative dialogue on digital and electronic learning. The regional meetings are to consolidate efforts and ideas to complement the traditional brick-and-mortar form of education, with hopes of introducing an e-learning platform in the coming year. There's more in this report.
Ghana's educational system was derailed following the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic, forcing many students, especially public basic schools, to stay out of class for nearly a year. The situation hampered the progress of academic activities, necessitating the introduction of a virtual learning platform. Stakeholders in the educational sector and telecommunication service providers have been dialoguing at a regional integration program on online digital and electronic learning, beginning in the Ashanti region. The exercise is to formally and completely transform Ghana's education system. Executive Director of SENLOS, Nana Addo, says policies and other resources are being instituted to hybridize the educational sector.
When you talk about technology in education, certain things has to be in place before you can think of entirely even moving your education from the traditional setup to online. You need to look at policies, you need to look at infrastructure, you need to look at content, you need to look at capacity building, you need to look at assessment, you need to look at curriculum. All these has to be in place before you can say that, yes, I am moving totally to online. Now Ghana, I will say that we are ready for hybrid now.
Currently, the Ministry of Education, through the initiative, is running both online and offline learning and teaching platforms via its iBox and iCampus GH. Consultant at SENLOS, Dr. Kofi Sapon, says the new national framework would afford the youth access to degree programs online.
This framework is going to be an integrated platform which will fully be deployed for young people in Ghana to enroll on and learn without classroom space. So they will learn right from attain their degrees purely online. They will not need to go to a classroom. They may not even have seen their teachers before. All what they are going to do, they are going to do their teaching, they are going to have their assessment, they are going to have their courses, everything fully integrated on the platform.
Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals provides an inclusive and equitable quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. UNESCO representative in Ghana, Abdulrahman Diallo, assures of an all-inclusive e-learning policy.
The objective is the inclusion, equity, inclusion for all, and all means for all. So whatever we develop at the global, national, or regional level is to ensure that each beneficiary's specificities are to be taken into account. So that's why within the framework also of the responses for ICT in education, we have to ensure that they are tailored products for disabled person.
STEM policy advisor at the Ministry of Education, Professor Makadoma Samoa, is emphasizing on resources for sustainability of the program.
We want to make sure that we will have the resources to continue to do the things that we do all the time. We also want to ensure that we have teachers who have been trained well so that there will be no short supply of teachers. We want to make sure that we have the digital devices, and in addition to the digital devices, we also have data to be able to undertake all this.
The national policy meeting is expected to be replicated across the 16 regions of the country. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Now, shop owners at Circle Odawna counting their losses after fire raised more than 50 shops earlier this afternoon. It took the fire service more than 3 hours to tame the blaze. Now, eyewitnesses told JoyNews the fire service showed up late, as reason the inferno affected that many shops. The fire service in its defense said it was responding to 2 distress calls. JoyNews' Faustina Safo was at the scene and has come through with this report.
Well, it has taken the fire service close to 3 hours to douse the flames here at Circle Odawna. It's still yet to be determined the cause of the fire, but then we can see behind us quite a number of people gathered around in an effort to salvage their goods. Now we know that so far a number of shops have been burned down. The police is here trying to control the crowd to avoid them going in to try to salvage their goods. They're yet to give us an exact number, the number of shops affected. We'll be getting that shortly, but then we noticed that some individuals were helping the police as well as the fire service douse the flames. They've been around. Let's get closer to them and speak to them. Boss, Pacho, they need see.
Me Pacho, say me was second happy. Na me ton ade wo anim ha ya. Yet one man yet say boys no wa chiri honom. Sha say fire nti e ro hye ne ekohwe nti e ro hye ekohwe no. Ti na me gina hom na mehwe. Ana boys no mo ye debate. Omo gina na we say oh yam fresh up no be shop na omo he de den hye we inside honom. And be mu say omo fresh fire service. Ada say ko say ko mu bishop na ni no na say ko mu dum sa jacket wa na ye sa no. An happy sa. Tina e yam say like omo be so omo fresh fire service for no omo ba. Nti omo anye sa nti eja ne bofo akire honom. And a benefit for children, and a for children. Tea, ye be one say be a benny or market in our neighbor until ye shall see a month for phone shops. As she was in a name, a month for any of my Ashiwahano. And Yasam Ketua. No credit and Yasam Ketua, and you may be in Ashiwasi. A shipper.
Okay. Inti Sesiano shop banner ebani saying I just toss a shop no. O makatra wana.
Some shop kit we bend them yamidi mani huye. Shop kit we be. Sometimes we so be on man shop no. Em say like upon doom light no. Oh, I know obusu on ma upon doom light no. Oh, we say sometimes obu me forget it. Say also doom the light. Enti me mu ni say bia ono so sometimes maybe we na nya omo so fault e bia o forget ye no doom light na bibi we say light so dey forget no mo doom light no mo so mo doom light no mo sa definitely je betima ye den aso ana we say na so mo share that doom light na aso ana light no help sometimes we any need people enti me say no na e man e ja na ye dey e twetwe ba ye e man inside we dey esa say yes no
okay. So this is one of the individuals here, the eyewitnesses, has been trying to give a breakdown of what happened. He says that when they noticed that the shop started burning from within, they decided to have a debate as to what to do, either to call the police or the fire service or attempt actually breaking into the shop to try to douse the flames. But then whilst that banter happened, the flames went overboard. Is this your shop?
No, my shop is at the other side.
What happened?
When the fire occurred, when it started, we went and called the fire service. They told us that there was no car available then. So we tried in our own ways to stop the fire, but it's escalated. So there's nothing we'll be able to do about it. That was what occurred.
So your shop is in there. Yes. Can you quantify the number of things you've lost?
I just brought a new goods in, and I just can't mention a figure right now. Yeah, I can't just mention
everything gone.
Everything, even there is not even a pen, not even a pen, single pen that I took out of the shop. Everything has gone.
Wow. Interesting. This is a shop owner. His shop is actually inside. He says he's lost virtually everything. Well, that's the scene here. Some people are still trying to clean in their shop, salvage some goods. Unfortunately, if you can see, some people are trying to lift out speakers from their shops, but then you could see that most of the glasses here, they've been broken. Inside the shops, burnt beyond recognition. If you could look at the top part of the shops where you had the billboards advertising their products, all burnt beyond recognition.
The fire service, they are just standing around, doing nothing. It's with the civilians that are trying to fight the fire, which is very bad. They are supposed to show menace, but they are not doing anything. As you can see clearly, we the individuals we are the one trying to fight the fire, which is very bad. When we called them, it took them even almost 1 hour to get here. And when they come, some of them were taking pictures and other stuff. As you can see, you are a journalist. You can see clearly that the people we are fighting the fire by ourselves.
There's only one shop
I'm say ejana tom. Until around like the people that normally comes on work on Sundays. They try to inform the fire service. And I think we have a fire tender around here whereby it's not all that far. At the back of the road, that's the Dubai. We have a fire tender over there. So the people around that witness the fire, the starting of the fire. It seems they try to rush there to invite them that this is what is going on. Because it started from one shop, if I have to know. That's what I got to know. They started from one shop. And they couldn't come in till the time he entered to another shops, and I think it affected 1 or 2 shops. And if you guys can see, that's what is going on now. Sometimes we have problem. We will not blame the fire service workers or the fire service custody, but it seems sometimes when you call them, they can't come early. And we, the public, and them, the workers, I think we need some explanation. The reason why we call them, they can't come. If it's about them not having the items to work, you want to tell the government that it should wake up. But these things are not, it's something that is going on. And it's not a good thing to be, we the workers that we are working here, it's a loan that we are using. So if some things like this will go on, whereby you call the fire service, they cannot come to assist, whereby you enter into problem before they will come, I think then they don't have to come. So now we don't want to talk much. You just want to tell them that we need some explanation from them. The reason why, if they don't have the machines, then the government have to do what? They have to provide. Because we were in Accra here that we got to know that Tegetia was having the same problem. Why is it all the time? Fire, 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 fire.
So your shop has been affected? Yeah. Can you quantify the goods you've lost so far?
We are back there. We normally sell phone covers. I'm a phone technician. We sell phone covers and stuff, chargers. And I can say I've lost enough.
Do you have a figure? 5,000?
It can be more than that. Because before you can enter into that kind of business, I think you have to have some small money on you. And it's not about 100 cities, it's not about 100,000. But at least you know. Most of them are loans. Most of them are loans.
So we're still at Circle, and right now I have with me the public relations officer of the fire service, trying to give us a wrap of what has happened here so far. Can you introduce yourself to us and then tell us so far what triggered the fire? What have you gathered?
Okay, so my name is ADO2 Alex Kenati. I'm with the PR department at the fire service headquarters. So we were responding to a fire call at Kotobabi when our men were informed of a fire here at Circle. The unfortunate bit for us is that our men here at Circle were the ones that responded to the fire at Kotobabi, involving a bakery and some other wooden structures around the area. So it became a bit of a challenge, because then the people that were supposed to attend to the fire over here were the ones responding to the fire at Kotobabi. So quickly we had to call on our people from Makola, ministries, Parliament, and then Flagstaff House to attend to this fire. And as of now, the fire is under control. The most important thing as a service is that when we come, one, we look to save lives if there's life at risk. Secondly, realize that there's a filling station over here. There's a bank. These are very strategic places or strategic things that if we joke with, could cause a disaster. Imagine the filling station catching fire. You can imagine the kind of explosion, the kind of disaster we would have on our hands if the bank had caught fire, people's investments, the records and everything. So when we came, we did well to confine the fire within a certain area to prevent the fire from further spreading. And I can confidently say that we've been able to contain the fire and put it under control.
So far, how many shops have been affected? And do you have like a rough quantity of the goods affected as well?
Well, the number of shops affected, we can't give a definite number, but it could be well over 50. But I would say that the ones that we've been able to salvage or save will be well over 300, 400. So what we've been able to save and prevent from burning is much more than what has burnt. And when we are working, people often misunderstand the way we work. What is burnt, the trees to say the ashino and shinko, there were some that were already burnt. So the ones that are burnt beyond salvaging, we let go, and then we try to save the ones that have not been burnt yet from spreading. So that's exactly what we did. We also realized that people had kept gas cylinders in there. I know that you know that they even have a chopper in there. And people will be there, keep quiet, wait for things to happen, and then they will accuse the fire service of as if we set the fire. People were saying all sorts of misinformed things, such as we came to the fire scene without water. There's water all around. So
I even heard one person say that you arrived late.
You see, that's the problem. You see, as I said, the appliance here had to respond to the incident at Kotobabi. The station is just here. So if for the incident that happened at Kotobabi, our men would have arrived earlier. So then again, it calls into question the need for the municipal assemblies and elected representatives to set up more fire stations. Because mind you, the fire at Kotobabi, our men at Abelempe were supposed to be the ones responding to that fire. But as at that point, they were also responding to a fire at La Paz, Niboy town. So they were not around to attend to that fire within their jurisdiction. Hence, circle rather moving over there. So if there was a fire station at La Paz, the people at Abelempe wouldn't have had to move. So they would have concentrated on the fire within their area, and circle would have easily responded to this fire. You know, so with the urge of the government and then also the MMDCs to prioritize safety as much as they prioritize security, set up more fire stations for us. We have more than enough men to fill up the stations. We need new appliances. Some of these appliances are about 15 years old. Some of them malfunction. Some of them might even get to a fire scene and then pump failure. And it's not our fault. It's a machine. You can even start your car in the morning, and then when you are ready to go to work, you are starting it and it's not working. So we need support. Instead of people chastising us and looking at the negativity, trying to always make a mockery out of us, appreciate the effort of our men. Appreciate the effort of our men. We didn't start the fire. We came to see how best we can salvage the situation.
And that's it for the Joy Prime News here. I am Amisi Nyamicha Thompson, but later at 8 p.m., we'll be bringing you the probe that will be taking on Kumewu as Kumewu decides the crucial by-election. You can join MFR Pau and the rest of the team as they delve into what will make Kumewu election interesting. I am Amisi Nyamicha Thompson. Thanks for listening.